Pose. We are live. Hello, everyone. We are laughing because we thought we were live a second ago, but we weren't.
It's okay. I got to dance to your intro twice, not once, but twice.
Right? I'm like, hello, I am a moron. So before we get started, you all know I like to go ahead and take care of the housekeeping up front instead of at the end. So first and foremost, thank you. Mods, appreciate you. You don't get paid, but you're here anyway, and I thank you for that. Huge shout out to the patrons and channel members of both of our channels. We appreciate every single one of you because without you, there are so many things I would not be able to do. One of them is I need to hire a maid. Just kidding. I'm not depending on you for that.
I'm going to say give it a year or two. Yes. You will be able to depend on them for that.
Listen, then I do definitely want to go ahead and just thank all of you who are here live. Appreciate you. And for those of you watching on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. I know watching lives on replay is not nearly as much fun as being there. So it is extra appreciation that I have for you for bearing with it and hanging out. So yeah.
And getting as much enjoyment out of it after the live as you do live, because that's saying a lot, and I understand if you don't, but for those that do, I appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Exactly. And quick introduction for those of you who don't know, this is Emily Hanhan. I'm going to do my hands like this so that I don't have to worry which side they go on.
There's a lot of that motion these days.
This is one of my dearest friends in the entire world. And if it weren't for YouTube, wouldn't have such a person in my life. Fantastic, as they like to put it, fat babe. So if you are a fan of fat babes and makeup, then you should definitely check out Emily Hanhan.
And lots of opinions, as you'll see tonight, because I have lots of opinions.
Well, let's go ahead and get into some of the opinions. But before we do that, let's say hello to some of the people in the chat. I'm sorry, that got really weird. But
wait, you didn't even introduce yourself. This is
Audra
Home, also one of my dearest friends. Thanks to YouTube. If you like goth black babes, also with lots of opinions and the sharpest motherfucking nails around.
The sharpest and the longest and the wings to match, bitch. No.
Oh, that's true. The sharpest wings on the block. I have that TikTok stuck in my head of the baddest bitch on the block, not on my block, but on your I have that one stuck in my head, and I'm like, yes. That's not my soundbite to serve, but it's so deeply ingrained.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, if y'all are not following me on Instagram, you're missing out because I put a lot of TikToks on there. And one of the things that I definitely try to do is that I try to keep it as inclusive as possible, varying races, genders, just everything, because I want everybody to always be able to see themselves. And I know not everyone wants to have TikToks. So I try for you. I cried because of the one TikTok where they were using that "Daddy So Proud" sound, and the person there, they were like, actually, yes, my dad is proud. My dad takes all my photos.
Yes,
my dad, and I was just like,
your story right now, and it's so because it's a just a gender, I would say a gender fluid person, or probably non-binary, but somebody would look at it and be like, oh, they're gender fluid or gender bending or however people want to say it. That's less than kind, I would say. And they were like, yes, actually, my dad takes all of my videos and all of my photos.
Dad is a whole ass photographer for me, bitch.
And I was just like, my heart.
I know. So quick hellos. Hi, Felisa. Hi, Thorn. Yes. Isabel. Hi, Feppy. Hi. Sharon. Alex. Making sure I get Leary. How are you? Tia is in the house. Yay! I'm so excited. And let me grab a couple more and then we'll go ahead and get started on the opinions. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Allie is here, super bad. Harper Briggs is here. April, 90s love child. What's up, Soraya? How you doing? Jennifer A. All right. For everybody else that I didn't say hello to, hello. Nice to see you.
I wanted to actually say thank you, Thorn. Welcome, and thank you for the correction in the chat for my word choice. I'm learning, trying to get better. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, gender nonconforming. I like that.
Yes.
Not like, oh, I look at it, but I'm like, oh, I like that. That's something easy I can remember. And I say that not to be rude in any way, shape, or form. I have a horrifying, terrible memory. And words put together in that particular format, like gender nonconforming, is just like super easy for me to say. So I'm like, yes, I can say that all day long. I get excited when there's a phrase that I'm like easy for me to remember and say, because other shit, I'm just like, you know, that one spice. And then people are like, you mean paprika? Whatever. Anyway.
Memory is challenging. That's what I'm going to say. Like, yeah. So thank you all for all of the work that you do also in the chat and the comments to just like, you know, express either correct or express your take on things, because it's always helpful, truly. And tonight, this topic was like, all Audra. Audra was just like, I want to talk about drama channels. And I'm like, sign me the fuck up. I'm here. I'm here for it. I
want to talk about why they flopped. Here's the number one reason, though. The number one reason I think that drama channels flopped is because they made drama channels and drama their personality. So it became personal. And I feel like you could definitely see that. And that, to me, that's what ruined it. As soon, and I will always say this, I don't know Nick personally, and this isn't a jab at them as a human being, just as the person that I see on YouTube. So please don't try to come for me because I don't know you person.
This is true for anyone we have to talk about tonight. Not just this is true for any of the channels, any of the people. This is not an attack on these people or on you if you watch them and love what they do now or in the past. But I agree that having this personality, having this it was now more about the person behind the drama channel and not the actual topics at hand.
Yes.
That felt really weird, and it proved to get real weird real fast.
Yeah, because remember because it was just the viewer's voice, right?
Yeah.
And for so long, I had no idea what Nick looked like or anything. And then Nick came out and did a video where we saw their face. And I was like, oh, well, first of all, I was like, wow, you're really handsome. That was unexpected because I don't do research on people. I guess other people knew who he was. I did not. I'm not I'm not going that
care enough to
Yeah, I'm not going to dive. I don't care. And the thing is, I'm going to tell y'all, I listened to the viewer's voice regularly for a very long time. And to be honest, Nick made my drive from work, he made it bearable. They made it bearable for me because I had to drive an hour home in traffic every stinking day. It was miserable. And listening to him talk about drama and all that with a whole lot of sass was super fun. And then I noticed that there was a shift when they appeared on camera. And then it became more and more that they were on camera. And I just started to feel like the viewer's voice stopped being the viewer's voice and just started being whatever Nick Snyder's persona is on YouTube, just started being that. And it seemed more like a personality and a personal take as opposed to just dropping out what was going on in the world of beauty.
I mean, I do think that drama channels having personal takes is totally valid. And I think that that's the reality, is that everyone's going to have an opinion. And the reality is that drama has always had opinion. But I think for me, with somebody like Nick or a lot of the other people. So here's the thing. I definitely used to watch more drama. I will dabble in it out of curiosity, but really it changed a lot just once I realized how much of it was fed by and paid for by Jebediah Stankfish. And then I was just I don't want to fund that. I don't want to give that being money or anyone that they are funding money. But I think for me, it was that there was opinion and personality, but it was about the shit that was going on within the community. It was
Yes.
about the influencers, even if it wasn't specifically within the beauty community. And then I feel like the problem with the shift is that it turned into how this person interacts with the beauty community. So it was
Yes.
no longer just, Nick, Dustin, Rich, Ashley, Kyle, whoever, just talking about what was going on and like giving their take on it. It was like, okay, now they're all of a sudden in communication with other people within the community that they are reporting on, or now they're in relationships with each other and they're talking about each other, like, yeah,
and
sharing.
that was point two.
Yeah.
How it seemed like they all suddenly became the same news channel.
Yeah.
And they were all friends. And so I will say this. I will say that at first it's kind of fun and interesting that your favorite drama channels, just like it's fun and interesting when your favorite YouTubers get together. But then I just started to feel like everything, especially when drama was low and like there wasn't a lot going on, it started to feel like there were just so many videos of them just like together talking. And I was like, what does this have to do with anything? Like,
Yeah.
and they had like a lot of clickbaity stuff going on, being like, I'm finished with so and so, like one of the pals in the crew. And then they're like, ha, 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 just kidding. And I was like, okay, we're used to clickbait drama to a degree, but this like pretend fighting, and then when they were really fighting, it was like, oh, y'all really fighting now. Okay, well, we didn't know because y'all were clickbaiting us for so long that you were no longer friends with so and so.
But even then, I never trusted it because I'm like, they will make up in a month, a year when it benefits them. Like, I'm like, it. I think the thing also for me that was happening is that it became this rich flaunt, like not rich looks, but like wealthy flaunt. Like, not that every drama channel is wealthy, but I think that was the part of it that I also like. That's not the kind of like content that I like to watch on YouTube, period. And so the fact that then instead of like getting some salty take on who was doing what to who, it was like, oh, look at all of us traveling to like some rich mansion and hanging out together, or going shopping here or doing this. And it was just like, it's like a talk show host becoming the focus of the talk show. That's not what I was watching. Like, it's good to have a entertaining, enthusiastic, like, person at the helm, but I'm not watching. I'm usually not watching because of it.
Yeah, and that was the thing there. I feel like it felt very much like old school beauty YouTube that many of us were trying and are continuously trying to stray away from, which is this idea that like the rich and powerful beauty influencers all hang out together. Thank you, Tia. All hang out together and have Birkin bags and like it felt very exclusive. And I think that to me as a viewer, I suddenly felt like I was no longer in the same league as these people. And I'm not even going to call it relatability. I'm going to call it like a league. Like, I felt like I was no longer in the same league as these people, because previously I looked at them as people who were genuinely like talking about the drama that was going on, giving me the tea and like letting me move on with my business. And here's the thing. Everybody's going to have bias. Superbad brought that up. Everybody's going to have bias. There is no such thing as no bias. So let's eliminate that from your vocabulary all the time. Everyone is always going to have bias, period, point blank. So, but there was a level of understanding where the bias lie between each different drama situation. And then it changed. And it seemed very, very much that it was just all on the side of Jalopy's staircase. And I personally feel that they put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket was Jalopy's staircase. But what happens when Jefferson Starship stops?
Yeah.
And by that, I mean not just stops doing stuff, but like when nobody cares what they're doing.
Yeah. The problem is that it was such a profitable ship to jump on. And I think the other part of it is that whether it's because of their connection with him or whether it's because of other growth, there was also something about, okay, especially I think about old school YouTube and the creators that were the most popular and the most watched. And I know it's still this way, but it's not the kind of content I watch anymore. But it was like, oh, these people are really, really wealthy. And then the drama channels felt like the normies, like
Yes.
and all of a sudden,
They felt like the bag lunch kids, like me, you know?
and then all of a sudden I realized, oh no, they're elitist motherfuckers too, like spending big money or taking money from names like Jalopity Steak Fish or whatever.
Can
And
afford to move several times in a year.
and they're like hobnobbing with the people that they're reporting on, supposedly. And then I was like, okay, even if you're not specifically, oh, thank you, Soraya.
Thank you, Soraya. I missed it.
But it's like, even if they weren't specifically in the pocket of Jefferson Starship, I was instantly just didn't trust, because I'm like, if you are exhibiting that level of wealth, in my opinion, to go from one extreme to another, then it's like, I don't really trust. I trust that you're probably in his pocket, whether or not we know. Like, it just felt like it was inevitable.
Well, and here was the thing about that whole situation. When people were saying that Dustin and Nick and Ashley were in, and Rich were getting paid by, I took that as I didn't take it literally, first of all, because I think that people just in their heads immediately think like, oh, money was exchanged. But there is a power in being able to get your video out sooner, right? So if Jalopity Staircase is coming to you directly with said drama and has receipts that you were able to provide, then that puts you, miles and miles ahead of other people, right? You already have the drama, you have the tea, you're the first to report it. Everybody's going to come to you first. And then you start being this source that everybody goes to first. And I feel like that is really how that payday actually went down, is like you become the source that it becomes to, which then boosts your CPM on YouTube, boosts everything. So you're also getting your videos are getting shared like all the time. YouTube is saying, hey, you want to watch this?
Once you have one hit like that for that kind of content, I feel like it's very easy to like get that. Maybe not easy, but it can, especially I feel like back in the era of drama channel. Okay.
Yes.
Back in the era of like before Social Blade, basically before the whole James Charles thing happened. So Social Blade used to directly report every single moment of your channel action. And that was this weird like way for people to release videos every hour, every couple of hours when somebody was going through some shit, because it'd be like, oh, look at where the numbers are now, and then when everything happened with Bye Sisters, then Social Blade or YouTube or both changed how they communicated. And so now you can see information, but it's more of like round numbers and not counting up, counting down by the singular digit. So I think it's interesting to think about how back then, if you had that one video hit, and then, of course, if it's somebody like JS and they see, oh, that video hit, I'm going to keep feeding them information because it's working.
Yes.
Whereas, like, yes, if you feed them information and that video doesn't hit, they might just be like, I'm going to go on to somebody else and see if they can do it better.
And just a quick note that Social Blade never changed the way that they did it. YouTube changed the way they did it. So YouTube used to say that you had 1,754 subscribers, right? They quit doing that. So now if you look on my channel, it'll say I have like 8.8, right?
Yeah.
And it'll never tell you exactly how many subscribers I have. And I do remember when it used to say exactly how many subscribers a person had. All the way through. It was like, if Smoky Glow had her channel up, you were watching, and it would say she had 100,042 people, and you could see it change live. But YouTube, because of all that shit, changed it and rounded it so that those kinds of sites could not do those live counts anymore.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm keeping this up so that I remember to hit that next.
Okay. I won't click the other comment then, but there was a comment from Irene, just because there was a little conversation in the chat about like commentary versus drama channels and the slippery slope. And Irene had made a good point that they feel like commentary channels are commentary when they're talking about topics, but once you start talking about individuals, that's when it starts to feel like drama channels. And I kind of agree with that, because I feel like for some people, they can see that commentary and drama are not that different, which I do have moments where I agree with that. But I think it's that topics versus people. It's kind of like information versus gossip.
Yes.
So
because this right here, 93 Runt, for those of you just listening, said, what I don't like is when serious crimes are treated like drama. No, sir, this isn't tea. Please contact the authorities. This is another huge reason why drama channels are flopping. When you take things, and I'm just going to say SA, for those of you who know what it means, you know what it means. But when you take things like SA, when you take things like that and try to treat it as if it is drama or it's tea, that is not drama. That is not tea. Someone getting attacked, that is not drama. That is not tea. Someone getting beaten, that is not drama. That is not tea. So when you try to treat these kinds of situations like, ooh, guess what's happening next? Like, that's not how we do this. And that's where what you talked about with commentary channels.
Yeah.
Commentary channels are going to be different than the majority of drama channels, because while a commentary channel might take something that is drama, they're going to take the subject of the drama and talk about that, not necessarily the person, unless the person themselves, like anything, causes the whole issue.
Yeah.
But more often than not, commentary channels are going to talk about the issue at hand, the actual problem. They're not going to spend the entire 11-minute video talking about a person personally. And I feel like that is true, that it is not a personal attack on someone anymore. I'm not gonna say that that's always true, but I do feel like when I'm watching some people's commentary, I can definitely tell the difference in between when they're getting more in their tea mode and when they're actually doing full on commentary. And I think that that's really, really important, because you cannot take horrible things that happen to people. I would be I don't know how you would hold me back if you talked about my essay as if it was just tea for you to sip. Like, I wouldn't handle that well. I would set everything on fire, to be honest.
So like that goes to the whole, like, I know that, I'm just gonna say JS because the long names are tying up my tongue, but I know that they are like the villain in a community, and deservedly so. But I think the way so many drama channels did like hop on that source and wouldn't let it go, when I saw the way the like teasing proof of what James Charles did, which was all alleged, no actual proof, which was, by the way, SA, like, supposedly, allegedly. And I'm like, how the fact that these channels would continue to ride on the coattails of this person who is joking about something that's a crime and repeatedly joked and brought it up over and over and over again.
Tina.
And I also saw Jess, Zombie Girl. Welcome, everyone.
Hey,
anyone that's wandered in since we started, like, but I feel like it's really interesting to see how, like, I wonder if it's just the money, if it's the fame, but like this huge blind spot of any morals, like this complete moral failing. I'm like, how do multiple people get this far off that they're listening to and supporting and promoting for all well and good what this person is doing when they are lying and gossip mongering about SA?
Yeah, and what made me think about this is like watching what's going on with Without a Crystal Ball,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how far people will go, because Without a Crystal Ball had been told repeatedly to cease and desist.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, because I don't watch that whole thing, so nobody come be like, you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about. From my understanding, it very much seemed like a personal attack
Oh
from
yeah,
Without a
it
Crystal
did.
Ball to Tati.
Yeah.
I feel like that is another side of like that ties into it, because the way that the big three basically of the drama channels continue to ride the pointed devil tail of that man, it didn't sit right with people. And I think that when you're bringing up the Bi sisters, that I think was the bubble that burst,
Yes.
because I feel like any of us, a large chunk of us that loved drama, we were living for it. We were watching it. We were like, we were there for the Gabriel Zamora. What does he even do now? But we were there for that. And we were like, oh my God, yes, give me the tea, bitch. Because then the tea was fun and funny, right?
Yeah.
And by fun and funny, I'm not saying that being racially insensitive is funny. I'm
No.
saying watching people kind of just go down in flames, people who like, it's terrible and it's true, but we all like to watch a train wreck. No matter how much we want to not watch it, we like to watch it.
Watching like three bad people, like three or four, like flipping off the camera in a picture, like better without him. Like that was
Mm-hmm.
funny to me. That was like, this is a friend breakup. You got manipulated by a piece of shit. You should have known better. You got manipulated. You all realized it, and now you're making a public stance about it. Like that's fun and funny to
Yeah.
me.
And we were all
Not
having fun.
not taking down a teenager based on lies. It's
Listen, Michael, I'm going to need you to not catch every slip that I make.
not a slip, it's a perfect line. Who
Yeah.
even cares? And what do they do now? Like,
It was just, I feel like at some point, it may not have been fun for them, but for all us watching, it was a good time, right?
yeah.
But then this thing that happened, the Bi Sister scandal, wasn't fun. It was heartbreaking. It was heart wrenching. It was disgusting. It was foul. And it felt like the more that you listened to the story, the more videos you watched on it. I don't know about y'all, but I started to feel a certain type of way about myself, and it wasn't good. Now, this isn't like, oh, well, their fault, whatever. I went to watch those videos, but that's what got me to realize I can't watch this. And I think a lot of people collectively started to do that, which is another reason why Drama Channel started flopping. Because if you had the same feeling I had, which was like this weird, like icky, like I started to feel really gross. I started to feel like there was a film all over my body that I could not wash off, because this wasn't cute. We're accusing one young man, and there were multiple levels of why it wasn't cute. Because I was one of the dumbasses who just bought the story hook, line, and sinker because I didn't like James Charles for no reason.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
there's no reason I didn't like James Charles other than the
No, you
fact
don't
that
like his personality. You don't like his
Yeah.
personality, and that's fine. That's fine.
Well, yeah, it's fine, because here's the thing about James Charles and me. I am old.
Yeah.
So he's not for me, and that is okay.
Yeah.
But for me to have reveled in the takedown of someone who I don't know personally and honestly didn't wish any harm to, but suddenly I was sitting here like, yes, I hated that. I was disgusted, because especially once everything came out, I was just like, I am a piece of shit. I am a piece of shit. I sat here, I listened to this, I cheered on the downfall of a young man who did not deserve that. And I hate this about me. I hate that part of me that allowed that to happen. I hate the part of me that okayed it for so long. And that is when I was like, I'm done with drama. I cannot watch these drama channels, because I can't let myself be the kind of person who wants horrible things to happen to somebody just because they're not my cup of tea.
Yeah. And the thing that I was annoyed at myself about falling into the trap with the bi sister thing is I didn't trust Tati at that point. I was already beyond liking or caring about or watching or trusting this person. I didn't trust her, but I still let it influence me and want this other person's downfall. Like, I don't like any of them, but somehow I was now rooting with Tati against James Charles. And I'm like, I don't like either of them. Why was I manipulated by literally like white savior woman? Why was I and it was really frustrating because, like, yes, we do all get sucked into spectacle from time to time, but yeah, like, it was about vitamins. But then when it went into, oh well, he did this, he did that, and then I'm like, I don't care whether or not it's real. I want you to go to the authorities if it's real. Stop talking about it on the internet and go to the authorities.
Thank you.
Like, that's
this doesn't need to be internet fodder.
No.
Like, it didn't need to be like that. And then I think as more of it started coming out, and then especially when James came and was like, what we're not going to do is treat me like this. I know that y'all think I'm a child. I know that you think that I am stupid. And what we're not going to do today, we're not going to gang up on me. We're not going to say things that are true. We're not going to air out all the dirty laundry. I'm not going to sit here talking about 47 lawyers. I'm going to tell you what I know transpired, and I'm going to explain my situation. And was I wrong? Yes, but this is these are the things that transpired. Yeah. And just watching that, and I was like, I can't watch this. I cannot continue to watch drama because I can't let myself be like another dark soul in the world, because it's bad for you. Well, I think it is. It starts to get bad for you when it's not like fun, funny, like, hey, guess what? Trisha Paytas is crying on her floor again for no apparent reason.
Oh, no. She's not fun and funny anymore. No. We're not doing that.
Fact, I refuse. That's not fun and funny. Not fun and funny. You're correct.
But I wanted to say, so what Day says, Legally Black Beauty says, I don't think that the situation was right, but I can't say I don't want him to have some consequences for his reckless pandemic antics and disregard for the health of other people and himself. Here's the thing. I still actively dislike James Charles. I am really frustrated at how he uses Photoshop to lie about his makeup, because it's really deceiving and toxic for the community, in my opinion, because it makes people feel like they're not worthy, they're not valid, they're not good enough because they're not doing what James Charles does when it's literally done in Photoshop. And I also think the way he's behaving in general is pretty disgusting, as like in terms of the pandemic. So like, I still actively have a lot of like dislike, and I don't support him or anything he does. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that level of a lie should have been lobbed at him.
And then Kelly, thank you so much for sharing. I'm not going to pull your comment up in case you don't want it for everybody to see, but thank you for sharing, and I completely understand, because I felt like the same thing. And yes, and I think that is, again, what you were saying, Emily, is you still actively dislike him. There are creators we still actively dislike. Yeah. But we forget that drama channels at one point weren't drama channels as we see them now. There was a point in time where they were holding motherfuckers accountable. Like, that was the goal. Holding people accountable, exposing all of the underhanded, dirty things that were happening with the affiliate links and all of that, exposing, I can't think of the word, sponsorships, undisclosed. There's the word. Yeah. Exposing those undisclosed sponsorships, exposing that kind of stuff. There was a point in time where like that was what we were doing. And what happened is commentary channels, I feel, slid in to that market. And the thing is, another big reason why beauty channels or beauty drama channels are dying is because they got stuck on beauty. They're flopping because they got stuck on beauty. They didn't watch the trend of people being more interested in watching, Khadijah talk about issues and talk about what's going on in the world, whether it be a beauty YouTube related or just the world. And they did not realize that people were going to get tired of it. I think they really thought we were just all going to sit there and be like, yep, I want to watch what's going on with Gabby Hanna again. Like, I don't care. I didn't even care in the first place.
Gabby Hanna's not a fucking beauty channel. Fuck her. Okay. I have feelings. But I think it's the same thing. Okay. First of all, Yolanda said it really well. When the drama channels became the drama itself, that was the end of my watching them. And then just like how we talk about how like we don't want niche channels, we're not gonna like nicheify ourselves and like only be beauty or only be this or only be that. I think for drama channels to only be beauty drama channels was also a downfall, because they could be drama channels about anything happening on YouTube, even if they don't have the like desire to go into the commentary realm where it's just more of like deep dive critical, like, but there's an entire world of YouTube. You don't have to just do beauty drama.
Yeah. So, Aditi, here's the thing about slander. Slander is not that easy to prove. Slander is not like when I started looking into slander, and because I thought you could just be like, that's slander. It's not as easy as we think it is to prove. Like, you have to prove that it harms you. It harms your ability to make money, harmed your ability to get a job. And that is difficult to prove. You have to be able to show that, like, when this allegation came out, you lost XYZ, and then you lost this much revenue. And like, you really have to be able to prove that shit. As far as I'm aware, you'd have to like really check with the lawyer channels, the like lawyer tube, you just slide over there. But my understanding has been that it is because celebrities have tried large chunks of the time, they fail. They fail on slander. They can get it on other things, but they fail. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and 93 Rot made another good point. What I couldn't believe were the drama channels that reporting on the J-Star and Kanye situation, trying to frame it as if it was real. That's the thing, is that they clung so strongly onto this one character that's all they can, like, that's all that they refuse to like venture out from that. And I'm like, you're fucking brainwashed. Like, it feels like brainwashing, where it's just like they're just getting fed stuff from this one person, and they're just trying to make that reality. Interesting.
Gabby, yes. I'm so glad you said that, because it is typically, if the times that I've seen slander win is because somebody was suing a tabloid in the UK for slandering them, and they won those. But the US, baby.
Oh, this is interesting. Deja said, and it's even harder to prove as a public figure because your right to privacy is considered lower than a private citizen. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people, especially when people talk about drama versus commentary, because I feel like commentary channels can talk about drama, but drama channels don't do commentary. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Commentary channels can talk about drama, but drama channels do not do commentary. And I really think that a big difference there, especially when we're treading on like ice, I guess, we need to be careful about labeling folks as a drama channel when they are not. And I say this because I feel like we forget that sometimes, like, your people are live, they're doing live, and people ask questions. And so we do have to realize that, like, there's a level of, like, we have this chat here right now, right? So if I was doing a Q&A, which I'm going to be doing on Friday live, so get your questions together. But if I was doing a Q&A, if several of y'all ask the same question, at some point it starts to feel like I do need to answer this question, even if I didn't want to talk about that subject. If you have 500 people in a chat, and you keep seeing several different people go, are you going to talk about this situation? Are you going to talk about this situation? Are you going to talk about this situation? Eventually you go, okay, like, I really don't want to talk about this. I'm neither here nor there on the situation. I don't think that this was right, but like, I don't really want to get into it. you're appeasing the people who wanted to hear you say something about it, but at the same time, you're not really getting into it because you don't want to. So I think we do have to be careful about that, because honestly, if you go down that road, like people have done that to Hannah oftentimes, just getting a smoky glow, be like, you're a drama channel. And I don't believe that she is a drama channel. Any of the things that I do not feel that that is a drama channel. I feel like, just as a spectator, I feel like more often than not, it is commentary. There is drama that does happen. They themselves have been involved in drama and had to handle that shit.
I think that's where, so I personally think that drama and commentary is observational. I think it's about tone, and it's about approach. Because there was more conversation in the chat that I was looking at where it's like sometimes like you can't, it's not like D'Angelo talks about people, but I don't consider that drama. I think it's about tone, but it's about how you interact with the community. And I'm going to say something, and Audra does, I'm not saying this is, I'm on Audra's channel. That doesn't mean Audra like approves this or seconds this. The way people behave makes them drama channels. When you get involved with drama channels, you can't just be like, I'm only commentary. And that's not just directed at Hannah. That's not just about Hannah, because there are other channels that I've seen do that. And then they realize, oh, I fucked up. That's not what I actually wanted to do. And then they have to pull themselves back and in some ways kind of rebuild. And so I think I know, I was like,
my mustache is sweating.
I also thought Cecily kind of had an interesting point about slander and voice notes. So going back to slander, JS and Shame Dolphin almost exclusively use voice memos that expire. So no written evidence. That is sneaky, but it makes sense why they would. But the other part of it is that it's not a conversation, and it's not a conversation. So you sending a voice note is basically permission that they can do with it whatever they want. Because I know a lot of people
go that way.
Would say like, oh, well, if it's not a two-party state, you don't have approval to use it. But a voice note, a voice memo is not a conversation.
It's not a phone conversation.
It doesn't, the same rules don't apply.
And I am not a lawyer, but I would definitely advise that if you have something to say, that you don't say it. Just don't say it. If it makes you that nervous that you think you're going to send a voice note because you're like, it's going to expire, like they can record it. First of all, they can record it. They can find ways to download it and record it. So you're not winning there. And two, that is not a phone conversation. It's just a recording. So it doesn't have the protections that like a phone call does.
Yes, I did. Yes, Shame Dolphin.
Like I like listening to the whole story, and I think that's the cool thing. Like talking about D'Angelo, I think when you're looking towards where we're going, we're moving further and further away from a he said, she said kind of a conversation. And I think because one, we're growing up, like all of us in YouTube, no matter what age you were. If you were like between 16 and so when all this shit started going down, and you've grown up too. So we're all on YouTube growing up and growing past wanting to be involved in drama, because it was cute for a second, because it was like being in high school, being like, girl, who's doing what? I know. And it was a good time. But if you are never the subject of it, you can have as much fun as you want, right? If you're never the subject. But if you haven't been in a situation where you've had to apologize for something that's gone down, where you've had to fix the situation, where you have had to deal with people treating you unfairly and you just don't do anything about it, like if you haven't been in any of those situations, you have no idea what it's like to deal with it. And you're just sitting there like the whole time, like, if you don't know, you don't understand. And I think that as a whole, we all realize that there's been times in our lives where people have treated things that have happened to us like drama, and we didn't like it. I think as we grow up, we're much more likely to want to listen to how a situation went down and then hear someone's opinion on the situation, as opposed to like, and then she said, blah, 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 and then he said, and then they were like, blah, 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 as opposed to having like a conversation where it's like, okay, so a whole situation went down between these two folks, and it's just like the facts are presented in like even tone. And then you hear the tone shift when they're like, and here's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of where we're in this interesting space where yes, I agree. A lot of us have learned a lot, seen a lot, but we are always fighting against that like little lizard brain that's
Oh,
like
the lizard.
drama, gossip, meh. So like even when I know, yes, this person's perspective is more complex than what I've seen in a video, sometimes I'm still like, ooh, fuck them. Like, or like, what did they do? Like it's just interesting to think about how like it's like a lot of us have seen and we understand the harm of it and we know better, but it's also fighting against that like urge, that little like, oh, let's talk some shit. So I think it's interesting to think about it because I still think the issues are gonna be here. It's just gonna be like my take for a lot of people that end up with some stuff is kind of like yeah, maybe and I know this is hard with the internet, but I'm like, maybe it's better to like not say anything for a moment rather than react when you're in the situation, not like
Yes.
as a viewer, but like take a moment and be like, I don't know what I got myself into. Maybe I should reach out to a friend and get some input. And even if the storm is still brewing, just being able to say like I need to take 12 hours. I will be back. Like questions will be answered then, or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing that I see a lot in drama or issues within the community and outside of the community is these like quick fire reactions
Mm-hmm.
of defensiveness because none of us want
Mm-hmm.
to be wrong, and a lot of us struggle with that defensive mechanism.
Hi, Amber.
Oh, bye, Amber. So I think it's interesting to think about, can we give people that moment to breathe and moment
Yes.
to take a step back, and even if they have to like again say publicly, I need a moment, and I know you were all upset and waiting and or whatever, but I need a moment. I will be back
Yes.
soon, but I have to take a step back. Like I would be fine with that in most situations that I see where I'm like, why haven't they said anything? Like, if you just say,
Yes.
I need a moment, I need a breath.
Like, can we
Yeah,
give people a week to respond? And I mean that. I mean that.
yeah,
Even to some things that are just we feel are heinous. Can we just give people a week? Whether you believe them or not, that's not the point. The point is by allowing someone actual time to respond, we keep them from tripping themselves up. And I say this as a creator. I don't want to get tripped up. If I have done
yeah,
something that so many people consider heinous and fucked up, the pressure that you have to feel like you have to respond immediately and immediately tell everybody you're sorry and immediate like that pressure is so high that you start having an anxiety attack from the shit.
yeah,
You know you have to get your apology out and all of this as quickly as possible so that everybody will come and be like, see, this is I knew you were a good person. You're like, I don't even know if I'm a good person. I'm just stressed right now. Like that's how you
yeah.
feel.
And
I don't even know if I'm a
sometimes,
good person. I'm just stressed and I don't want everybody to fucking hate me. So I'm apologizing right now. I don't even like I mean that I am sorry, but I don't know if I mean it as much as I mean it right. I am scared. I'm frightened.
yeah,
Fright. And that is what has caused me to be out in front of this way too fast. And then if we would allow people that moment to breathe, I think one, we would stop having these like horrifying YouTube apologies. Because since we don't let people breathe, when they do breathe, by the time they come back, they're just like, I mean, whatever, I did what I want. And we're like, that really sucked. We waited a week for that. But if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's either Russian and they said the same dumb shit, or they just like sat there hoping it would go away and then it didn't. And then they were like, I mean, whatever, I did what I want.
I mean, the
Like,
other thing is trash is going to do trash things,
yes.
but people can make mistakes. And I think sometimes you see apologies or you see statements coming out. And like, I don't have any specific examples in my head, but I just feel like there are times I think about in my life where I might have apologized for something because in the moment, one, I don't like confrontation. I don't like those feelings. And if somebody is upset and the way to get them to not be upset is to apologize, I'm going to do it. But then after the fact, I look back and I'm like, you motherfucking piece of shit. I was not in the wrong. Or like,
Yeah.
or you misread this situation and this is what I could have apologized for, but I did not need to apologize for XYZ thing. And so then there's this resentment of like, oh, now you think I'm this kind of person, but I'm not. And so you might see actions after the fact and you're like, well, they don't seem that apologetic 2 weeks later. It's like, yeah, because they're realizing that someone else bullied them into this position or
Yes.
that they're just a piece of shit. It could be both.
And like Ali said, I feel like that's a direct result of drama channels, because the drama channels were literally on this shit like white on rice, like flies on shit. The moment something happened, a video was up. The moment someone sneezed, a video was up. There was a point where I swear to you that like there was a video of like at 2 a.m. And for many reasons. One, I was coming off of a medication that I was taking, which was a horrible offense. It was a bad deal coming off that medication. So I was up, and like their videos were.
Oh, you froze. What? Oh no. Did Audra freeze? I think so. I feel like deer in the headlights. Sorry, y'all. Okay. I am going to remove. No. Oh no. Apologies. I am just going to see if I don't know what's going on. And like I said, I feel like a deer in the headlights. I'm just gonna see what's going on in the chat. Did your comment just break, Audra? No. But I'm glad I'm not alone in the feeling of like the whole reflexive.
So sorry, the players wait for me. They heard me. The FBI heard me, y'all.
Visions of You was like, did my comment break Audra? I was like, no. But the comment was reflective apologies are involuntary, meaning little thought, effort, and listening.
Yes.
And
That's
part of it too.
I feel like because of drama channels, I think I was talking about that shit was popping up so often. And I think that this is another clear definition between a commentary channel and a drama channel. A large amount of commentary channels sit and wait for like information to filter all the way through before they start talking about it. They're not making a video on it and having an 11-minute video every couple of hours, because one, honestly, I could never. I am too lazy. I am too tired. There's no way. And that is a term where I will say I am lazy. That is where I am lazy.
Wait. A lot of these drama channels don't fucking edit. So guess what? You're not. It's not you. They get away with just turning on the camera, saying some shit. Maybe they put in some photos, some but I just think that oh wait, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, looking at the chat. It's interesting though, because I do think commentary channels, generally speaking, I think take more time to reflect on the situation.
Yeah.
And like understand what's going on. Even if they are biased in their commentary, they've taken time to kind of understand what's going on. Oh, here for the tea.
I think that they did a good thing once in exposing some shit.
Yes.
And like many channels that were in the drama perspective, got a little too high on that praise and everybody coming that they just, I think that there's no ethical way to be a drama channel. Just like there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, there's no ethical way to be a drama channel, because people were talking about Sanders Kennedy. I will say this about Sanders Kennedy though. Always keep in mind that Sanders Kennedy is a person of color and therefore persecuted in a different way. That is, like, whether they want to admit it all the time or not, that's neither here nor there. The point is, did they fuck up? Yes. But other drama channels have done things just as bad, if not worse. And yet, here they are still with platforms. So we always have to remember that, like, this machine, the way that we have it moving and the way that we have it going is very much dependent on you having the tea up front. And I do believe that the second, there just isn't.
Like, I think that's the summary of this video. Just like there is no ethical way to be a drama channel. No.
Mm-hmm. Because once you get a hold of that, it's like, once you get a taste of that fame and you get it off of like people coming to you as a source of information. Yeah. Like, y'all, that has got to be a high I can never imagine. I could not imagine people wanting to come to me for a source. Like, even in the beauty space, I could not imagine people being like, oh, I come here because of your nutball ass reviews. And I would be like, I mean,
they do.
Don't know why you're here for that.
But also, I think the thing that I think about is not only are they the source, but they also become, it's like two versions of source. They are the source for people to come to, but they are also the source that people will go to with tea or with insider information. And so not only do you have an audience of people that are like coming to you looking for what information you have people randomly showing up in your DMs being like this, that, the other. And so now all of a sudden you have to like kind of figure out what's going on and figure out if it's true or false or like a lead worth following.
I really like Peter. I think Peter's awesome. The only criticism I have is that recently they stated that they were like the only ones talking about, Jalopy Star case and all that kind of stuff, when several Black people in the community had been talking about this, and people of color. But listen, it's Black History Month, so Black people, just deal with it. So several Black people had been talking about Jalopy's staircase for quite a while, about what a monster that person was. And when Peter kind of came out and said he was like the only one who was talking about it, that was a bit of a slight. No, it was quite a slight to all the people who had been talking about it previously. They just did not have the platform.
He did, I think, apologize to some effect because he got called out. Because I think Sharita or more than one creator was like, Peter, you're wrong. And so I think I don't know if it was the day after that video but he did in some ways apologize or comment on it. I can't say it's apologies, but
and that's why I do like Peter for the most part. I will always say that. And I always say for the most part because here's the thing that I do with Peter is I often listen to the intro, and then as soon as they start getting into the drama, I just stop listening and like I'm like, okay, moving on with my business. I just love all the stories and the fun stuff at the beginning, and then after that I'm like, because I don't care, because half the time it's drama I don't give a shit about. So I'm not watching any of it for that. I'm literally watching for like the beginning where he's like, rock on, gold dust woman. Like I watch for that. Like I watch for all that shit. But like, so it depends on what you consider egregious.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. Just essentially lying about sources and what was going on with the Shane situation and the police involvement and that kind of shit.
Yeah. It kind of framing it. What?
Sorry, you said Diamond, and then Dustin Diamond's dead. Like that's what my ADHD brain. That's how it works. You said Shane Diamond, and then I was like, Dustin Diamond's dead.
I poisoned you or something. I was like, what's going on? But kind of framing it that it was like more serious or further along than it actually was, basically. If I remember right.
You framed it like that there was an actual investigation at all when there wasn't.
Yeah.
And that's another thing for people to keep in mind. Like when people talk about like, oh, why, like the authorities should be investigating this. Guess what? Fun fact about the authorities. Unless someone comes in and reports a crime, they're not going to investigate it.
Yeah.
Unless it benefits them to do so. Okay. And that's true. Like if it doesn't benefit them to do so, then they don't do anything.
Yeah.
But if it benefits them in some way, shape, or form, say the person who was abusing their dog, then they're going to do it because it benefits them because that had become national news, right? So it benefited the police department to go check that out. Now, this particular situation did not benefit the police department to go check this out because if they go do all of this stuff and can't find anything, then it's all over the national news.
Wait, is that true? It's T's birthday.
Wait, is that real?
Happy
T, I'm a bad person. I can't remember anybody's birthday, to be
Happy
honest.
birthday. I don't care if
It's your birthday today?
Happy birthday.
Wait, T, let me know if it's your birthday today. I got to put it on my fucking calendar.
Damn.
Listen,
I'm
doing a whole thing. I'm doing a whole thing where I'm putting people's birthdays on my calendar because I am bad at this game. And so what I've started doing is I make it a yearly fucking event. And now it'll be a yearly event that it is your birthday. Yes. Because I know, like, if I don't do it, it will be I will never remember.
I think you mentioned your birthday like recently in a video, and I was like, I need to add that to my calendar because I forget ever. I know one of my friends' birthdays in April, and I know one of my friends is in August, but I never remember what actual day it is.
Yes, because see, y'all, for y'all that didn't see it, if you want to see Auric on brown skin, looking just fucking chef's kiss, I could never. Then you need to check out T's video. It is absolutely beautiful. Listen, my feelings are a little bit hurt that I didn't pick it up, but listen, I'm not going to do this to myself. I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing this. We're not doing this. I'm not buying Auric. I'm not going to buy
it. I know.
I want it, but it doesn't. I'm not going to get it. I'm putting it. Listen, I'm girding my T-tots. I'm girding my loins. I'm not going to grab it because I am a big girl. I'm a big kid now. I'm not doing it. So
yeah, I'm trying to resist for at least a little while. I want the glow.
I'm resisting as hard as I can. Listen, because I feel like there's two shades where I was like, ooh, I bet both of those will just like look so good. One will look good on my natural skin and another look good on my makeup skin. This BT Dubs. You've seen this in the darkness too. You've seen this highlighter in the darkness and it just beams.
Wait, where is it? I know you just said it in one of the Marco Polos, but I feel like I didn't.
Collective Cosmetics.
Oh, it's the spider. Okay. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm reading the chat because I'm just like, oh, Bemi also has a try-on.
Yes, Bemi does as well.
Nice.
And if y'all are following Bemi is fantastic. Just one of the like kind, sweet souls of the world. Listen,
we're talking about it. Like,
Tarima.
I don't want the eye products because I know myself good enough, but I want the palest. I want Morganite. Although I
like for my skin to glow. I like it when my skin glows. Listen, y'all understand. As a single pan non-intercourse person, when my skin is glowing, the attract that I get from everybody, there's men, there's women,
all of the
there's
people.
trans, there's non-binary. They all look because my skin is glowing from the heavens. And I look at them right back and I go, hello. Yes, I'm interested.
Yeah. See, here's the thing is that the kind of base product I want to put just like all over my face and then spot conceal because that's the kind of thing I do a lot. I've even been trying to like use more of this it's not super old, but this older Milani product that I have that's like a complexion enhancer. But I realize I don't like the way it sits on my skin. So I'm just like,
this is me trying to be strong because like
I know.
there are people like, oh yeah, tea tree, citrine. I'm like, this must
Oh,
be what it's like for people who like intercourse. This must be what it's like when they're like, I can't wait for it. Like that must be it.
very sweet. Thank you very much. That I appreciate that. Wait, T is in the chat. Citrine is glory in a bottle if you're around my complexion. I'm
First of
just
all,
like,
T, I need the one darker, but like I don't. T, I don't need you to do this to me. This is a thirst trap, and I don't appreciate your thirst trap. Your skin is literally goals. Your skin is like what would happen.
you are one to talk.
Underneath the moonlight, everything was glorious, and then the moon would just hit this beautiful sand dune, and that is your fucking skin. The glow is unparalleled, and I both hate you and love you for it.
Stop
Now we're
showing
done.
off your damn microphone. Doing that microphone. I'm just like, you have beautiful, glorious, glowing, like glowing in the moonlight skin. We can all appreciate everyone's skin, but like, don't frame it like you don't have good skin because you do. But I love Karima saying whispered reference. Okay, guys, I want to see your take on it. I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna start I'm gonna start a thirst ASMR, and I'm gonna start in aggressively telling you how fantastic you are ASMR.
Okay, if anybody wants to buy me a microphone, I will do the same. I need one of those speak close into it and it's not terrible. I know it's again, you do the ASMR thirst traps. It's perfection.
Amanda, I will be able to answer that for you on Friday because I don't know when, but I'm popping up live on Friday to do a Q&A. I'm trying to do a live Q&A monthly, but it'll more likely be bi-monthly because y'all know me.
Months go by fast.
Y'all know me. But I'm trying to do like a bi-monthly Q&A because as new people come in, I'm sure that they have questions and whatnot. And some of y'all who've been here may have new questions. So I wanted to be able to do it live as opposed to y'all sending me questions because first of all, I duck social media. Like it's I don't know what's going on with me right now, but I've been like, I think part of it is I've been playing video games again. So I'm just like not as interested in like being on my Twitter and my Instagram as much as I used to be. But the other part is that like, the world has been a shit show for a while, so I just have been like kind of staying off of it. So an Audra review, listen. Oh,
Deja, ASMR roleplay. Audra overheard you self-deprecating and tells you that you're wrong.
right?
Fuck yeah.
That would be me just being like, listen, I overheard you call yourself stupid, and I'm not sure who the fuck you think you are. But you're not stupid. You're amazing. I don't know who told you you were stupid and why you let them permeate your mind. But you're amazing every fucking day, even if you didn't shower.
Showering does not take away amazingness.
It does not.
It only refills it, but it doesn't. But you're not. You're just like you keep going up higher. You never drained of it.
Yeah. So like, yeah. I mean, and so we concluded it, right? There is no ethical way to be a drama channel. So that's the end. I think that drama channels,
glowy skin thirst trap,
will not come back. I don't think that the way that we suck that in is going to come back to us. I'm like, I think that commentary channels are the way to go. I think that they missed the boat. Anybody who did not see that we were moving towards more of a like, let's think on a situation, let's get all the information and talk about it all in one go. I mean, they're not going to keep making it. Like, that's why some people have a joint channel talking about their relationship, but I'm not really showing any shade. I'm just saying.
Is that N and D? Is that who I think it is?
Yes. Like, I mean, you look at it, what's happened?
I will say, I don't necessarily think drama channels are going to go away. I think I'm going to go back to that perspective of like, I do think that we have that toxic tendency to want to hear all the bad shit. Not all of us, but some of us do. But I think that the ones that were having their heyday with Jebediah's Big Fish, I think are going away or losing their luster. And I think that other ones may come into the space and
if
kind
you
of like
want
fill
to be
the
a
gap.
drama channel, there is a blueprint for how not to. And one, don't get so personally involved that you're getting cease and desist letters. Okay, just stop. Okay, don't become friends with the other drama channels. Become friends with people on YouTube, but you don't have to be friends with other drama channels. I don't think that helps you. I think that actually hinders you. You get in like an echo chamber. Problematic as fuck. It does not help you. Third, don't focus on one brand of drama within YouTube. The reason that when they talked about other drama, it didn't pan out was because of the fact, like when they were talking about Nikocado and Avocado and all that shit back in the day, the reason it didn't do as well as it could have is because they hadn't set a precedent for having been doing drama all around. So keep the scope wide. That's what makes commentary amazing, is they're not just focused on what's happening in beauty, they're focusing on what's happening in the world. And finalmente, if you feel that something that somebody gives you as drama is more about somebody's secrets and their dangerous secrets, and I mean that essay is a dangerous secret, anything having to do with that, crimes, these are things that are not drama. Don't report on them. Never ever, like, who cares if somebody scoops you? You don't want to be the person who talks about somebody's trauma. And that's it.
And I think lastly, I think Yolanda might be onto something. I think drama channels are only going to get worse. I think the ones that are going to keep trying to succeed in this space are going to start worming down into smaller channels and smaller, and like, rather than reporting on the influencers that we're all exhausted by, they're going to dig into these other spaces where it's like, oh, this person that seems just like you that you're a fan of, here's something terrible about them so that they can feel better. So
if you are a beauty channel in the smaller community and you have done some heinous shit that you have not answered for, you should probably do that now before they're start
probably coming for you,
because they're coming. They really are coming.
They're coming for you.
And on that note, we are going to bounce. I have some things I need to take care of. More than likely, I'm probably going to freak myself out, screaming my life out on Twitch while I play this freaking game. That
I will be there.
Panics me because I'm afraid of heights, but I enjoy the game. We will be on Emily's channel on Thursday.
Yes.
We're going to have a good, lovely time. I hope you all show up for that. I will be live sometime Friday. I'm thinking it's going to be like afternoonish, but y'all let me know. Well, I mean, I'm going to say y'all let me know, but sometimes I'm just going to pick a time anyway.
You're just going to, it's your schedule.
Yeah, I'm going to pick a time that's like most helpful for me. And, until next time, y'all know what I am going to say. It costs us $0 to be kind, and it's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of it, I'm sure as hell coming for yours. And until next time, XOXO, got the girl.